What comes to mind when you hear the word leader? Maybe it's someone delivering bold speeches. Maybe it's someone who can rally a crowd with charisma. Or maybe it's someone who could take decisive action. Well, when you do a quick Google search for famous leaders, names like Nelson Mandela, Gandhi, Rosa Parks, and Abraham Lincoln all pop up. Figures who are the faces of history's most transformative movements. But here's something you might not expect. They were all introverts. Mandela united South Africa after 27 years in prison with patience. Gandhi's principle of nonviolent resistance overpowered colonial rule. Rosa Parks' simple yet courageous act of defiance sparked the entire civil rights movement. And Lincoln's humility and moral clarity guided America through the Civil War. Leadership, as we often imagine it, isn't always about being the most visible. Sometimes it's about the sacrifices made, the empathy shown, and the ability to inspire. Now, I want to take a second here and reflect with all of you. Just in your head, can you name the 5 wealthiest people in the world right now? Now, can you name 5 gold medalists from the 2024 Olympics? Now name 5 people who have won the Nobel or Pulitzer Prize. Hard, right? The point is, none of us remember the headliners of yesterday. These aren't second-rate achievers. They're all the best in their fields. But then eventually, that applause dies. Achievements are forgotten. Accolades and certificates are buried with their owners. Now let's try again. Still in your head, can you name some teachers who have had a meaningful impact on you? What about some friends that you enjoy spending time with? How about some people who have taught you something worthwhile? This feels different, doesn't it? The people who have the most impact on our lives are not the ones with the most money, the most credentials, or the most awards. They're simply the ones who care the most. And that's what real leadership is about. Real leadership occurs not in the spotlight, but in those subtle yet powerful connections. Now, in high school, the pressure to do it all can feel overwhelming. Join every club, run for every position, and win every award. Colleges want leadership, right? So we force ourselves into these unnatural roles. But here's the thing about leadership, and almost anything in life. It's about quality, not quantity. You don't need to be the president of 10 clubs to make an impact. The most meaningful leadership comes from how you lead, not the titles you hold. True leadership is authentic, purposeful, and grounded in the impact you have on others. Leadership comes in many different styles, each with its own strengths. Democratic leaders focus on collaboration, making decisions with their team's input. So think of a class president organizing a fundraiser by asking for ideas, but also delegating tasks. Transformational leaders inspire change and innovation, like the student who starts a club to tackle an overlooked issue. Servant leaders prioritize helping others grow. This could be a peer leader guiding freshmen through their first year. Quiet leaders lead by example. Think of a student who stays after practice to help a struggling teammate. Everyone has their own unique strengths, which makes it possible to be a little of each. The best leaders understand their natural strengths and where their impact feels most authentic. Now, let's say this is Alex. Alex is a freshman in high school, and like most freshmen, he has a cookie-cutter definition of what a leader should look like. Loud, confident, always in the spotlight, the kind of person who naturally commands attention. But Alex isn't that type of person. He's not the loudest on his soccer team. He prefers to observe before jumping in, and he doesn't enjoy speaking in front of big crowds. So for a while, he assumes leadership just isn't for him. But then something changes. During practice, Alex notices a teammate, another freshman, struggling to keep up. But instead of calling attention to it, he stays after to help him. And when games aren't going well, Alex is the one quietly encouraging teammates, keeping morale up without needing to be the center of attention. And over time, his teammates start to look to him for steady support, not loud speeches. Because at the end of the day, leadership isn't about forcing yourself to be someone you're not. It's about understanding who you already are and leading from that place where your impact feels most authentic. Now, you can do this by reflecting on your natural habits. Do you prefer working behind the scenes, motivating others, or collaborating with the team? Think about how you interact in group settings and what energizes you. Experimentation is also crucial. Take on different roles in clubs, sports, or group projects to try these different approaches. And remember, leadership doesn't always require a title. It can simply mean stepping up or supporting others when needed. So through reflection and experience, you'll discover how you lead best and where your impact feels most authentic. Imagine your life as a blank page, waiting for a story that only you can write. Leadership isn't about following a script, it's about creating your own. The world doesn't need a copy of someone else's story. It needs your leadership written in your own words with your vision. So go ahead, write something unforgettable. Thank you.